What's up, welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Star Wars Visions Season 3, out now in full on Disney+, the latest iteration of this Star Wars animated anthology series, non-canon. Season 1 dropped in 2021, Season 2, 2 years ago. Now we're back with Season 3. I continue to really enjoy Star Wars Visions simply because it's free from the restrictions of Star Wars canon. There's a lot of creativity in this anthology series. Does every episode of this series work? No, of course not. Like most anthology series, there are ups and there are downs, but new creators are able to take chances, take risks, and tell cool stories and cool ideas within the Star Wars world that we know and love. Sometimes it's lower stakes. Sometimes it's really too abstract to have a long future as Star Wars storytelling, but it's still quite cool. And now we're experiencing the first sequel episodes from Visions, and we're actually getting a spin-off of the 9th Jedi episodes as a new series. It really shows you the potential with Star Wars storytelling when we're a little bit more relaxed in what types of stories we're trying to tell. And that by no means is a replacement for good and compelling canon Star Wars that, of course, we all want and really need right now. But I do think there's a really compelling place for what Visions is doing at the moment. Season 3 really doesn't waste any time with giving you the first sequel episodes of Visions to date, but really going to heavy hitters from Season 1. The Duel Payback, a follow-up to The Duel, the very first episode of Season 1. And then we also get the 9th Jedi Child of Hope, which of course is the follow-up to the 9th Jedi, also from Season 1. And then, kind of surprisingly, I actually hadn't realized this was coming ahead of time, but The Lost Ones is actually a sequel of sorts to The Village Bride, also from Season 1. And I think overall, I really enjoyed these sequels, particularly The Duel and 9th Jedi sequels. The 9th Jedi really knocked me out when I first saw it. I've rewatched it several times. That to me was like the platonic ideal of what you want non-canon Star Wars to be with. I thought it was really cool and effective and tight world building because, of course, this is all brand new Star Wars within the Star Wars that we recognize. And I think there were some cool takes on the Jedi and Sith relationship, being connected to the Force, things like that, the cool visual of the lightsaber color being affected by the person wielding it, things like that. I really enjoyed that first episode. And then you get the 9th Jedi Child of Hope with Season 3 here, and it's quite the different spin. It's really more of a two-hander and not as grand and combat focused as the original 9th Jedi episode. But the introduction of this new droid who we meet and then say goodbye to in this episode, Teto, great stuff. And the 9th Jedi animation continues to be really stellar. Of course, it's from Production IG, one of the most celebrated and prolific, Japanese animation studios, Ghost in the Shell back in the day, Haikyuu more recently. And yeah, I think the fact that we're getting a 9th Jedi limited series, spin-off series on Disney Plus in 2026 is really compelling because I think from the moment most people saw that first episode of 9th Jedi, you're like, wow, there's so much here. And the creators of this have a lot to say and a lot to tell, and it's cool. And we should welcome that. We should be willing to treat that, as kind of perfect streaming service storytelling, right? That actually makes a lot of sense to tell a story like that both in animation and just throwing it up on Disney Plus. I think it's great for that, and I'm really much looking forward to that. If you think about where Star Wars is at right now, of course, we know The Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out in May, our first movie since 2019. Star Wars Starfighter is in production. Another movie will finally exist. But in terms of TV shows, Ahsoka Season 2 is either in production or wrapped production recently. It's just animation these days, right? The Acolyte was canceled. Vision Season 3, I assume we'll get a 4, but we know we're getting that 9th Jedi spin-off. Maul Shadow Lord's coming. Animation's carrying a lot these days. We still don't know what the follow-up animated series to The Bad Batch might be. We assume there'll be something, from that tree, the Clone Wars tree. We're not sure. But yeah, 9th Jedi Child of Hope, really loved it. Also the Duel Payback. I mean, the two Duel episodes very clearly evoking, Kurosawa. I think the first episode really reminds you of parts of Seven Samurai, parts of Yojimbo. And it makes sense that they made a sequel to this because they actually made a spin-off manga series regarding the Ronin, the lead character of the Duel. And they did 2 one-shot comics as well. So that potential seemed pretty clear. I thought that the Duel Payback also was awesome. There's just tons of cool visuals. Like if you're just like a Star Wars freak, like there's just cool stuff. The various kind of lightsaber apparatuses in both episodes of the Duel, really awesome. This ex-Sith turned Sith hunter as a concept, really cool. This mobile gambling hall in Walkers is cool. In general, the influence and appreciation, homage to various forms of Japanese culture, whether it's like architectural stylings or obvious cultural references like the samurai and things. Of course, these are largely Japanese creators making these episodes of Visions. It's a cool melding, of course. And Lucas, as we know, a open advocate and admirer of the work of Kurosawa and talking about how it influenced him when making Star Wars and stuff. Shout out The Hidden Fortress. So unsurprisingly, those two sequel episodes to the best of Visions to date really worked. I would love to see a sequel to Journey to the Dark End from season 2, by the way. You also get the sequel to The Village Bride, which I liked from season 1. The Lost Ones. Overall, I didn't really care for this sequel nearly as much. I thought it was just a bit too abstract for me, although I thought the animation was pretty cool. Episode 2, The Song of Four Wings, this cassette playing funky astromech droid was pretty cool. Sandcrawler mining drill. Sometimes it's just like fun, like little visuals or callbacks, and you hear sound effects, and things like that. But that episode was pretty solid. Bounty Hunters. Episode 4 I liked as well. The assassin protocol on the medical droid was amusing. The droideka appearance, pretty solid. Again, like a lot of these are like, there's nothing like too in depth with them. Obviously, we're talking about 15-20 minute one-off shorts. So like for what they are, I think they largely satisfy. Sometimes the ceiling is low as a result. That's okay. Like I think Yuko's Treasure, inherently more of a juvenile type of story, young kid, teddy bear, droid, it's not the most in-depth or mature story, but for what it was pretty solid. I like The Smuggler a ton. That's from Studio Trigger. Studio Trigger made 2 episodes in season 1, The Twins and The Elder. Love The Elder. And of course, they're well known for Kill la Kill, the animated series, Cyberpunk Edge Runners as well. I think The Smuggler, I love that narrator with the backdrop, bit of a Western music as you get going. Animation was awesome. Yeah, dogfight, a hidden lightsaber, cool bounty hunter. That I think that episode, The Smuggler, a lot of potential for a sequel, just because it also felt quite rich right away. The Bird of Paradise, this one is a bit more abstract. I mean, you start in media res with this Jedi and Sith duel. Animation's very saturated, kind of a callback to the style we saw in season 2 in The Bandits of Golak. But this episode really becomes like a bit of a mood piece, a bit of a homage to the Dagobah cave sequence in Empire Strikes Back in terms of Luke processing things within his own head and right now. Like there's a callback to the lead character seeing themselves dead on the ground, kind of similar. I think that episode was fine. I think visually it's impressive, but overall not my favorite. And then to end the series, you have Black, directed by Shinya Ohira. And Ohira is very notable as a veteran, animation veteran of the Japanese animation. I mean, he's a key animator for Akira. He was a key animator for countless Studio Ghibli films, from Porco Rosso to The Boy and the Heron and just about everything in between. Like a true animation vet, like one of the real ones. And this is an incredibly stylized, dialogue-free, jazz-infused, at times cel-shaded, but the animation's really going up and down throughout, series of vignettes of memories within the mind of a stormtrooper. Incredibly experimental. I think it's one of the most compelling episodes of Visions because it has a lot to say, but it's doing it in a more sophisticated way, again, without any dialogue. And such a visual feast in terms of its changing and layered animations, its color styles, its grading, everything's so all over the place in intentional ways. It flows, and it really kind of speaks to a bit of depth, a bit of introspection on the part of someone we associate as a villain. I think there's a lot you can read into that episode, and an episode like Black is another great reason and compelling case for why we want to advocate for allowing this type of storytelling to exist in Star Wars, something that's largely been under lock and key. That was really cool. Let me know, though, what did you think of Star Wars Visions Volume 3, Season 3? What do you want to see next? Which episodes are you looking forward to seeing a sequel from next? Are you excited for the 9th Jedi spin-off series next year? Let me know. And for more TV reviews, more Star Wars, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.